against most teams.
Mhm.
Although some teams completely ignore the hero anyway. But now, G-Play, what the hell do they ban out? Do they ban out the Temper Assassin knowing that Northern Lions likes it that much? Or Tide Hunter, Ogre Magi? Like, what's the ban? Or does it even matter that much?
Well, as you mentioned, Kokoni is a pretty good TA player. I think they had a lot of ways to deal with it, and Northern Lions does have first pick in this game, as G-Play or Commanda Minus did elect to have first pick in the first game. So if they do go for the TA, I feel like Commanda is comfortable enough with just going for that Ogre Magi again, who is very strong. And actually, nLions is going to be the ones to pick up that first pick Ogre. So they will deny that up, and they will allow Kikoni to go for that TA as they have the Ignite to deal with those refraction charges.
It's definitely going to be good for them if the TA is picked up. But G-Play, well, they picked the Drow Ranger as the first one. Probably Visage will follow immediately. Yeah, if you leave it unpicked, it's definitely going to be banned out if you have the Drow already. Is this showing their cards a little bit early though?
It is, but it's such a damn effective strategy. I mean, Cloud9, I've got to say, we're the ones to coin this, and Vici has run it very well. I'm sure Commanda has as well. I haven't had the privilege of casting them as much, but you did mention that they run this pretty often, and I'm sure they're really effective with it. The thing is, they're going to have to be able to dodge fights. So if they get a lineup for nLions like they had last game with the Slark and the Centaur, and they're able to get up those sub 10 minute, sub 13 minute blinks, it's going to be really difficult. And they do pick up the Legion Commander, so they are looking to get into the face of this Drow Ranger, perhaps with an early blink on the LC into the duel. But they do have the familiar stuns to deal with that duel. And there is the Bloodlust from the Ogre as well as the Fire Blast for the burst potential there. So they will have kill potential on both sides here. So I guess at this point of the draft, it comes down to a matter of execution.
Man, I hope we're going to see an axe as well from Northern Lions. It's a combination I have seen fairly often, Legion Commander and the axe. But the axe is just so great against the Visage. Those birds, they don't stand a chance against the counter Helix. And even you can just ultimate them down if you really want to.
And again, we'll see the Broodmother banned out from Commanda Minus. So not sure if Northern Lions actually runs this or it just kind of puts a fork into their plans. But either way, we've seen Broodmother bans in 3 of the last 4 games I've casted for GG League. Of course, the first game of those 4 was BBC dominating Moscow 5 International with the Broodmother in Padrino's hands. So I definitely understand the second game Broodmother ban here, but interesting that Commanda Minus is going to take it out in both games. Viper and Puck going to be taken out by the Northern Lions. Jakiro banned out a bit earlier by Commanda Minus, so don't want to couple that Liquid Fire with the Ignite.
Yeah, Puck is a hero that Commanda Minus, G-Play, they've also ran, especially with this kind of strategy.
Right.
And any ranged heroes with the Drow Ranger are going to be buffed up a little bit. Especially, let's say, Legion Commander is in the mid lane against Puck. You can still farm with Overwhelming Odds, but the right-click harass from a Puck is already strong. Just combo that up with the Precision Aura as well. He would be an excellent lane bully then. But G-Play now, I guess Vengeful Spirit might be one of the supports they're angling at.
Definitely. Often C9 and Vici will go for 5 hero range strats, and Puck is often one of the most stable or one of the most consistently picked up mid laners and even off laners for Bone 7 often with this strategy. So Puck is definitely a smart ban here from nLions. We'll see what G-Play looks to pick up. There still is quite a bit. The Brewmaster was taken out by themselves, so that Space Creator will be gone. They're definitely going to want a mid who's a frontliner in some sense, just because they don't want to have the Drow and another person have to stay in the backlines to have that marksmanship active. And so we probably will see something along the lines of a Puck and a Brew. Not sure exactly what fits, but a Vengeful Spirit, as you mentioned, definitely synergizes very well with this draft, with the positioning, with the minus armor, and of course the stun that he offers does buff up the Visage quite a bit. But they'll go for the Undying here, so very strong early tri-lane unless they choose to put that Undying in the offlane.
Man, that's a hero that you really didn't expect to come out, but Undying, maybe they're wanting to go for an aggressive tri-lane, for example. Undying, excellent in tri-lanes, so is the Visage, so it could be a strong one if they want to do so. I'm not too sure. I guess with the Drow Visage, you're really strong in the mid game already. Once you get that marksmanship level 6, extra agility, But man, Undying, I don't know. I haven't seen that hero all that often these days anymore. So
it's certainly considered, the pub stomping hero in somewhere in the 3600 MMR range, but don't see it too often in Pro Dota. The Tombstone does help out the Drow to get a few extra frost arrows in, but we will see a bristleback pickup here from nLions. So they're assuming Gplay wants to fight into their face, and it seems at this point that they're the ones who want to control the tempo. So they're going to pick up the LC, they're going to combo that with the bristleback, and Bloodlust is actually very underrated on bristleback. I've seen it do a lot of work in couple with the Warpath, and giving him that extra movement speed as well as attack speed does allow him to get around the fights. Commander Minus gonna pick up the Nature's Prophet here, so a little bit of extra rat, a little bit of split push, but it is pretty weak into the Legion Commander as well as the Bristle and the Ogre. So what do you think of that pick?
I'm not even too sure at the moment at this point. Northern Lions, Bristleback is a nice hero. Undying will be decent-ish against him just because he reduces the strength with the decay.
Right.
Now IO picked up as well. IO Legion Commander is actually a scary combination. But at the moment, they don't have like the greatest burst to actually kill off the heroes that do get dueled. Maybe Ogre Magi if he gets like a lucky multicast.
Right. IO does pair pretty well with the Bristleback as well, so going to be a little bit of a versatile pick for them. But as you mentioned, not too much burst potential. It does a little, in a sense, weaken the early lanes, so I wouldn't be too mad at Commander Minus for going aggressive here into the IO, unless they do a lane mid, which pretty much even encourages Commander Minus to go aggressive more so. They banned out the Lycan here, so don't want any split push on the side of Northern Lions. Also, just the Howl damage. I guess they're a little worried about that. Nature's Prophet is pretty squishy, as is the Drow Ranger, and Lycan very capable with that 650 move speed of chasing down this Drow Ranger in any team fight.
Well, I have seen the IO combo up with the Legion Commanders at dual off lane and crush a tri lane. I have seen Bristleback IO's mid lane just crush as well. Bristleback with a mech just comboed up with an IO is actually really scary and really hard to bring down. Gplay, their last pick about to come now, potentially needing themselves a mid laner unless they want to run like a Nature's Prophet mid or something. What could they even go for? Razor got banned out, unfortunately for them. But
the Viper's also out of the pool. Yep, the Viper's also out of the pool. The Death Prophet's out of the pool. The Puck is out of the pool. So going to be interesting to see what they pick up here. Alchemist could offer them a little more minus armor. The Unstable Concoction is pretty damn good against the IO, as you can toss it and it flies pretty far range. Of course, the stun doesn't increase anymore from the range after it is tossed, as they nerfed that. But Tidehunter ban from Commander Minus would have fit pretty well with Northern Lions lineup, so I like that ban there. But it's going to be interesting. 10 seconds left for this pick, and they'll actually pick up the Wind Ranger. So as you mentioned, something ranged that does benefit from the precision aura. Not sure if the Wind Ranger is quite enough firepower for them. Of course, they always do have the Drow Visage combo with the Nature's Prophet, who's also right-click based, and that's going to do quite a lot of work on its own. Wind Ranger, one advantage she does have versus this lineup of nLions is she does have the Wind Run to mitigate any physical incoming damage, so she'll be pretty survivable throughout this game.
Yeah, and there might be that you can just shackle the IO, whoever is tethering together. Especially if the IO, let's say, is trying to escape. You throw out the shackle, but he gets the tether. But the shackle will follow the IO. So it might just be immediate shackle latching. It's going to be fun to see that. And not only that, if you have a Nature's Prophet, you use the Sprout, then shackle somebody. It's a guaranteed lockdown unless the tree gets eaten away or something. But Northern Lions now, going for the Storm Spirit, a little bit of aggression for their own, or a little bit extra aggression. It's definitely nice for the Storm Spirit to be able to follow up on the duel or maybe set up the duel.
And perhaps we will see an Orchid Malevolence rush race between the Storm Spirit and the Wind Ranger, who was picked up by Kokoni, so we'll go towards the mid lane as we expected. And we will see a pretty good matchup here. Ingman going to pick up the Bristle, so it looks like that will be towards the safe lane. And perhaps, as you mentioned, we will see a dual off lane with 6net picking up the Legion Commander. So be a very interesting game. Do you favor a draft at all, or do you feel like this is just a matter of execution?
I really think it's a matter of execution because both drafts are rather out of the ordinary, so don't know exactly what to expect. A lot of it has to do with how tanky can the Bristleback get and how fast. If they get the mech early on with the IO double heal, they might just have all the sustain in the world necessary.
Right.
And for Gplay, it's like, what are their lanes even going to be? And do they just prioritize tower pushing early on with the Nature's Prophet, or do they try to delay things out a little bit more, get their own core items levels going?
It's going to be certainly interesting to see. They may be running a safe lane try, and it looks like that'll be the case. This is game 2, guys. GG League Season 2, round of 16. We've got Commander Minus up against nLions. Commander Minus on the dire side. Insolent playing up on the 1-position Drill Ranger in the safe lane. We've got Pure Evil playing up on the Visage, and Poison gonna pick up that Undying. Kikoni in the mid lane on the Wind Ranger, and Hawkeye gonna be in the off lane. Throwback Nature's Prophet.
As for Northernlands, their own tri-lane for the safe one will be LeBron on the IO, leaving Inkman playing the Bristleback with Evasion on the Ogre. As that will leave Phantom XP to be the mid lane Storm Spirit, and the last one will be 6net on the Legion Commander, who is most likely not going to have a fun time at all. It's just... I mean, overwhelming odds are good to harass supports.
For sure.
But up against a Visage, it's just going to be hard for him, especially the Frost Arrows to follow by the draw as well.
Yeah, overwhelming odds is nice, as you mentioned, especially versus 3 heroes. It will give her the move speed to probably get a pretty good distance on these heroes. However, they do have quite a bit of slow with the Grave Chill, the Tombstone, as well as the Frost Arrows. And the Treants from the Nature's Prophet are going to scout out the lanes here for Commander Minus looking at Northernlions. So they will know what to expect going into the lanes. And they actually may rotate this Undying down to the bottom lane for Poison and dual lane with the Nature's Prophet, knowing that they're going to be just up against a solo Legion Commander here. Looks like we did have a crash from the side of nLions. Ogre Magi Evasion is going to be reconnecting to the game momentarily. So going to be interesting here. Do you favor anyone in this mid matchup? It's going to be Storm Spirit up against the Wind Ranger. It's not something I've seen all too often.
If let's say the players would be on equal skill level and no supports were rotating, I'd actually give a slight advantage to the Wind Ranger, just because it has a slightly better attack animation, I think.
Definitely.
And just power shot, a very spammable ability, whereas Storm Spirit, although he can farm nicely with the Overload and the Static Remnant, there's no means for him to just get excellent harass onto the Wind Ranger herself.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the attack animation is amazing for Wind Ranger, and she also has a 120 unit range advantage on this Storm Spirit. So generally, she's not going to need to put herself or expose herself to that Static Remnant range. So she should be just fine in this mid lane.
Well, I have no idea what they're even talking about. Like 223. 322. I don't know.
322 backwards, I guess.
Yeah, it's even the teams are like, what the hell is going on? Probably just taking their time, talking about things, talking things through.
Yeah, so we will see probably what is a pretty darn good matchup. I wouldn't favor either draft. You probably attested to the same fact that it's going to come down to execution here. Interesting to see how this Legion Commander fares in the offlane for 6net. Definitely a hero you want to see snowball. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't pair the IO up with this LC. I think no matter really who they put in this offlane for Commander Minus, the Bristleback should have been just fine here with the Ogre to help out with the Ignite. Of course, that would have made it a dual melee lane. Not that IO has too much harassing presence even with his range, but I guess maybe Commander Minus was expecting an aggressive tri-lane, and that's why they've put the IO and the Ogre in this bottom lane, but I feel like they've really hampered the ability for this LC to transition into the mid game.
It's definitely going to be hard, but if they have the relocate available, just dueling to relocate, Storm Spirit jumping around, I guess they're gonna bank everything on that. Although you also mentioned it, I think they were expecting cheap play to just go with an aggressive tri-lane, so they were hoping to maybe not dodge it with their own tri-lane, but actually have tri-lanes match up against each other.
We will see a little bit of harass coming out here from Pure Evil. He's rotating up towards the secret shop. So I'm not sure if he wants to man up against 6net. He does have a very good base attack damage at 53 on the Visage, but 61 on that Legion Commander and the Stout Shield. So perhaps just warding here, planting a deep ward for some information in the lane. I'm not sure exactly what else his intention would be. But as you mentioned, it's almost a situation where this Legion commander pretty much just needs to get his level 6 as a Faceless Void offlane does, because they do have that relocate. So just the lockdown with the duel should offer enough to at least kill a hero, if not in the duel duration afterwards. So going to be interesting to see how they're able to utilize that.
We will see indeed. It's just, of course, you need to be a little bit mindful of who you are kind of dueling up or when, how many heroes around, because although they have the relocate on Northern Lions, there's also a Nature's Prophet who can TP in to assist, and if he gets that level 6, the Wrath of Nature does a really high amount of damage if you just get those lucky bounces on the last ones. And also Power Shot, excellent nuke, plus the Soul Assumption. So both sides have the nuke ability. Undying can try to keep somebody alive with a clutch Soul Rip potentially. And he restarted his PC, so
yeah,
gonna be a while.
We'll take a look at the effigies here from nLions. We got a Queen of Pain, looking pretty cute in the air. Don't React, Predict by Phantom XP. Pro shit. What else do we got here? We got a Courier. Doesn't seem like there's too many other effigies protecting this base here.
It's a Kunkka.
Yeah, there's a Kunkka that I can't read what the hell it says. It looks pretty boss with Whale Blade, I believe that is. And nice hook hand there. So Kunkka looking pretty good with that faux hawk armed and ready. He's got 2 pipes. My Kunkka actually also has 2 pipes and the faux hawk, so big fan of that. Any other effigies in the base for nLions? Doesn't seem like that's the case. Not too much else to destroy for Commando Minus. They have any effigies of their own? There's an Ogre Magi. Sup, bro? Got his hands in the air.
An Ogre Magi, best hero.
He is best hero. And
Ogre Magi and Witch Doctor, best heroes.
Most skilled, highest skill cap heroes, anyways, for sure.
For sure, it's all about the skill. Although, I think if you're playing RNG heroes, like maybe even Lone Druid, the more you play them, the more prone you are to actually get that RNG in your own favor. Just because you get through with the hero, you become one with nature and all that jazz.
Bulldog, most roots in history. Some other Dota news for you guys. Unfortunately, Summit 2 First Departure has 2 players, Polson and Miracle, who were not able to get into the US. I'm not sure if that's by virtue of struggling to get their visas or whatever the case is. Unfortunately, First Departure not going to make it to the Summit 2. So we will see another team round out that top 6 with Vici, C9. Let me think. Secret is there as well. Who won the Americas? Not exactly sure in that case. But either way, there's going to be a new team replacing First Departure. So unfortunately, we won't be able to see Miracle in LAN. I know a lot of people are disappointed about that. I'll take a look.
Oh,
currently,
I'm extremely disappointed about that. I mean,
not today, actually. The ones to win the Americas. Sorry about that. Just had to remember what team that was.
I was so expecting to go there, just or not to go there, but to see First Departure there.
Yeah.
Of course, they're at least not today from South America is going to be playing there as well.
They're a Peruvian team. So yeah. Vici, Secret, Cloud9 not today, and of course EG returning champions are the other 5 there at the Summit 2, but Summit gonna have to replace First Departure, unfortunately. So meanwhile, in the pause, you guys want me to read some hero lore? Let's go into the library. Pick a hero, any hero.
Any hero.
Yeah, pick a hero. This is what we do during pauses.
Oh god. The hero or the player reconnected, so I guess you're gonna have to leave that for next time.
Damn it. I was gonna read like Ember.
But I'd say Disruptor.
Okay, Disruptor will be the pick if we get back to the library. Someone DC from our channel now. Obviously, Commando Minus is DDoSing nLions here.
No, they want to hear your story time, man.
Alright, Disruptor, where are you at? Is he Dire? No, he's Radiant. Okay. Oh, damn it. Back into the game we go, folks. And instant repause. Stupid Storm now.
Oh.
Alright, well,
Okay, so
speaking of stupid
whip out the
Storm.
lore, man. I know he used to be a Thrall in Dota 1, so
Yeah.
it's probably not going to be able to surpass that, but...
High on the wind-ravaged steppes of Druid, a gifted young Stormtraptor called Disruptor was the first to unlock the secrets of the summer squalls. Constantly under assault from both seasonal storms and encroachment from civilized kingdoms to the south, the upland Oglodi, I guess those are orcs, have for centuries struggled to subsist atop the endless tablelands. They are the fractured remnant of a once great civilization, a fallen tribe, their stormcraft strange and inscrutable, cobbled together from scraps of lost knowledge, which even they no longer fully understand. For those on the high plane, weather has become a kind of religion, worshipped as both the giver and taker of life. But the electrical storms that bring the life-sustaining rains arrive at a cost, and many are the charred and smoking corpses left in their wake. Although small for his kind, Disruptor is fearless and driven by an insatiable unpause. Damn it. Damn it.
That was the best timing for the unpause word to come out. Yeah. Unpause can never get enough, man.
Pure Evil gonna find a bounty rune top. He didn't actually drop a rune there, so just maybe scouting out if the IO was in this lane here. But they did rotate down Poison on the Undying to join Hawkeye in the off lane. So looks like we'll see a dual off lane Nature's Prophet Undying. That's pretty strong here up against the tri lane of the Bristleback IO and Ogre Magi.
It's definitely going to be hard for Northern Lions a little bit. I mean, as strong as the Quill Sprays are, once the enemy gets a Magic Stick, and you yourself don't have any mana regeneration, you're gonna run out dry so damn fast. Bristleback is strong, but only so with mana. I guess I will help out a little bit with that. But Hawkeye, no, what? Never mind. The first Ghoul goes into a Treant instead. So yeah, that's just nothing comes of it.
Yes, very well placed Goo there. I guess the haste was a little too much for Bristleback to handle at that point. Poison gonna be on the low ground. He actually places a nice magic bush ward into this camp here, so there won't be any pull throughs after the first one potentially for the IO here for LeBron. And he actually got a little bit unlucky here. One of the creeps didn't come with him as he tried to stack this small camp, and now he's gonna have to attempt the pull through. Poison is now rotated into the lane. We're gonna see a 1v1 or a 2v1 match up top. 6-net versus the Visage and the Drow Ranger of Pure Evil and Insolent.
It's not going to be half that bad for Legion Commander, I think. Especially that the Frost Arrows weren't there immediately for draw. He gets that level 2 now, so they will be coming out, but definitely better than the Undying would have been there as well, just because Visage, he cannot be pulling and harassing at the same time.
Right.
So that's the biggest weakness. Bottom lane though, Poison has started with the Decay, picks up a Magic Stick as well. Even a Nature's Prophet might pick up one. I mean, you can spam more treants if you get more mana and everything.
Yep.
It's just the best item against Bristleback, like hands down.
For sure, for sure. Evasion pulling through for the first time. He's going to take down this creep of his kin. Killing, like, look at this Ogre on Ogre crime. This is not cool, man. I feel like I shouldn't be casting this kind of stuff. But either way, Insolent zoning out the Legion Commander 6-net in the top lane. And a couple decay stacks out on this Bristleback. He's already down to 473 base health with 2 decay stacks, 758 currently for Poison. So they're doing pretty well in this lane.
They definitely are. I mean, lasted-wise, it's a bit surprising that Bristleback has as little as it does, because it's a dual versus dual lane after all. Yes, you're up against a ranged Nature's Prophet, but I'm not too sure if he should be as afraid as he is at the moment.
Right.
But of course, Ogre hasn't been around too much either, so maybe that's one of the reasonings. But now, Legion Commander takes a lot of damage, gonna get slowed down as well. Don't think they're gonna have enough. Soul Assumption, oh, never mind, not gonna even let it fly. It would have done, what? 330 damage? My god, that nuke is ridiculous.
Yeah, and the range is crazy too. You can hit that from absolutely
what am I saying? I was like completely looking at the wrong numbers, so it's 195 damage, so it wouldn't have been enough.
Yeah,
so
after resistances it would have been really close. Yeah. But they do cause the LC to rotate back to base. So 6-net, gonna have 445 gold. He should be able to pick up his boots before he rotates back out. And he will do so. So he can now TP back into lane, but it does stop his farm for a bit.
He's not even TPing there. I guess there wouldn't have been a point anyway, just because the lane isn't pushed out for G play. So TP would have just been a waste of a TP.
A little bit of
Kind
harass
of.
into the IO here. Almost level 3 for a LeBron. And Kikoni doing well in the mid lane, as you'd mentioned. 27-2 up against the 20-0 of Phantom XP, who is farming with the Static Remnant. Both heroes have their bottles out here. It looks like Kikoni will rotate towards the top room to find that, as Evasion secures the bottom room, which is a haste. So Ogre rotating towards the mid. He's been scouted out, though, by Poison and Hawkeye, so I think Kikoni will be just fine knowing that that is the case. And 6net gonna back off. He should be just fine. They're wrapping on Hawkeye here, however, with the IO. They got the tether slow. He's gonna TP out, but he gets fire blasted down. This will be your first blood. And the Ogre Magi gonna pick it up. Evasion finding that. And now he can probably grab up his boots. And he does do so. So very nice pickup for the Ogre. Nice little haste there. Able to get there to bring down Hawkeye mid-teleport.
The haste room was overall so damn lucky for him as well. Maybe Invis would have had the same effect more or less, but had it been like Regeneration, Illusion, I think Hawkeye and Poison would have gone on him. Wind Ranger just wind run in as well, maybe. But yeah. So they gave away first blood. Still not too horrible. I mean, they're getting the farm necessary. Lich Prophet, although sitting on 7 last hits, at least getting some guaranteed levels, kind of. Top lane, they're gonna go in. Lich Prophet wants to TP as well. The slow is there. Can they cancel his TP? No, they cannot. And they only have 1 stun on their lineup anyway, the Shackle Shot.
Right.
So that's probably going to bite them in the ass more than this time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Hawkeye probably should have canceled that mid-TP there. They will aggress onto Poison because of this. He'll drop the Tombstone, but will it be enough? He's got a Magic Stick Charge. He bottled up, but one last Quill Spray from the Bristleback is going to finish him off. So 2-0 is your score. 5.5 minutes in favor of Northern Lions. Kikoni the only bright spot at this point in the game. What do you think about the build from Phantom XP on the Storm Spirit? He's maxed out Overload thus far.
I think it's fine just because he needs to be able to get some last hits or try to harass the Wind Ranger back any way he can. Overload, one of the best ways to deal that. Now though, drops extremely low. Does have the ultimate, so maybe if he had a little bit more mana, some bottle charges could have even jumped the Wind Ranger possibly. Now, oh god, Hawkeye, he came in, did snatch the rune now, Phantom XP, forced to go away.
Oh, the Shackle doesn't latch for some reason there. Very close to that tree, just the angle of entry, I guess. Didn't get that Shackle off. Power Shot probably would have finished him off here. There, it is level 4, but there wasn't enough mana for Kikoni anyways if that Shackle would have latched.
And now Hawkeye, he's in trouble in the mid lane. He's going to go down. Oh, trying to attempt to Sprout.
Sweet Sprout there. And Hawkeye going to go down once again.
So 3-4-0. That's exactly the kind of start that G-Play did not want to have. I mean, Bristleback, he started out a little bit slow on the early levels, but now has picked up speed. Has 35 last hits. Ring of Health as well. So I do think this Ring of Health, is it going to be that Crimson Scarred?
It probably will transition into definitely first a Vanguard, eventually a Crimson Guard. Very good up against the lineup of Command Mine. It's something we didn't talk about. They're pretty reliant on physical damage. And in the mid lane, Kikoni's going to be aggressed on. He's going to pop the Wind Run though and just man up, as he does have the Visage rotate again. Soul Assumption going to be there. Shackle latches and the Power Shot finishing off the Storm Spirit here. So Kikoni gonna find a kill. Was already the top of the experience chart. Is now level 8, topping the Storm Spirit once again. And 4,000 net worth, about 1,000 ahead of the Bristleback at this point. So as you mentioned, the Wind Ranger doing very well in this middle lane.
It definitely is, and he needs to be as well, just because Bristleback is getting that free farm from now on at least. Top lane, they're going to get the slow into Legion Commander, and he's going to just TP out once again. This time around, it's
the Soul Assumption is enough. And 6 Int gonna go down here. Fire Blast and Ignite into pure evil, but Evasion has overstepped his bounds here, and he's gonna get brought down in the midst of a Sprout as well. Hawkeye getting pretty low. Courier is coming into dangerous territory. Storm gonna zip forward. He's gonna find the Nature's Prophet there, and Insolent gonna be his next target. He might find a double kill here. He's got a little bit of mana to zip, but into the tree line goes Insolent. One Frost Arrow out onto Phantom XP. They know he's low. They've clicked on him. He has no mana. He's got 2 bottle charges though, so saving those up. And the rotation in from Kikoni is going to be staved off. 5-3 is your score. Taking a look at the fight recap, they're only showing the kill actually on Undying, which happened bot lane in the meantime.
So 5-3, and suddenly Bristleback after 3.7k gold. He was just 3k together with the Draw Ranger before that pickoff. So Bristleback finding so much. Oh, the shackle shot lands onto LeBron. A few more right clicks. Power shot does get dodged.
The power shot
and
whiffs.
another haste rune. How many hastes have we got? And never mind. Even the haste doesn't just bring him to safety.
Good shot, right?
But there have been so many haste runes in this game already. Maybe I'm just mixing some of them up with the last game, but it feels like haste everywhere.
As you mentioned, though, that really low attack animation for the Wind Ranger paying dividends there. Kikoni able to get off that last ranged attack and jump in though from Phantom XP. There is a Fire Blast here. Kikoni probably going to drop. She's going to be overloaded. There's the Fire Blast and we'll finish her off. Actually, Storm Spirit going to find the kill though. Probably with that Static Remnant. Very big kill for Phantom XP here. Sitting on 600 gold in addition to his treads and bottle. And he will grab a little bit of XP up there. Almost his level 9. The Vanguard does now come out for the Bristleback here. So Ingman getting pretty tanky. Despite having 3 decay stacks on him, he's already in surplus of 1,000 health after these wear off. Insolent gonna run into the Wisp in the river here. He should find this with ease if he doesn't miss uphill. A ward gonna be dropped by LeBron before he goes down, but free easy pick off for Insolent. Medallion is up here for Pure Evil on the Visage.
Yeah, if Throw Ranger, if he chooses to pick up a Morbid Mask now, they can easily go just double Roche, Visage as well as him. Although they're gonna go in anyway. They have the Nature Prophet to have the tank ability of the 3 ends. So they're going in. They have the marksmanship, of course.
And sitting on the high ground is Evasion. He's going to grab up an invisibility rune right behind them, walk into the pit. Do they have detection here? They do not. So Insolent actually TPing out. This can be cancelled, and Evasion is going to choose to do so. Will he get Grave Chilled up? They're not even going to worry about him. Just staring down the Roche. And in the meantime, Undying picked off by Ingman. He's even going to go for this Tombstone as well. They're going to chase down Evasion here. The Nature's Wrath will hit him, but that'll stave off the aggression for now. Are they able to find this Io? He tethers up towards the Ogre Magi. And the tower was just taken out, though, by Kikoni. So they do have the nice shackle there by Kikoni. Kill potential, power shot onto 2. And they'll bring them both down with relative ease. So the one problem right now for Commanda Minus is this Bristleback, who's sitting on 3-0-1. But they find 2 kills right after the Roshan. And that'll help them snowball a bit.
That's what we were saying about as well. Just the tether, it's good, but it sometimes means that you're close to another target, so both of you are just going to get shackled. And even this tier 2, just move the familiars down to half HP or close enough to it at least.
Yeah.
Really well done, just sequence of things happening from G play. And Poison, although he died, at least he's level 6, has the urn, still defending the tier 1 as well, which hasn't even taking all that much damage.
And the one way that nLions have benefited from the Roshan and this aggression in the bot and middle lane is that Sixnet has been left unchecked. He's found his level 6 now. He's got his treads up, so a little bit more tanky. Sitting on 1,000 HP already is this Legion Commander, and they do have the duel ready. Relocate not quite up yet, but sitting on level 5 is LeBron, so it should be fairly shortly.
Well, if they get to relocate, they will have all of their ultimates, which should mean easy kills, but now another tower goes down, Drow gets the last hit for it. Just the familiars help out immensely with the pushing. They didn't even need precision aura for this particular fight here, or push. So they want to keep on going though. Shackle attempted a little bit too late. Had it landed, probably would have been a kill as well. Bottom lane?
Interesting build here, yeah. Bottom lane, they're going to aggress on this tower. They should take this out with relative ease. Interesting build. Looking to buff up her entire team is Insolent. With 3 Wraith Bands, the Treads, and now the Yasha being ferried over on the Courier. So max agility build right now. Does give her quite a bit of armor as well. So pretty effective versus the Bristleback as well as the LC. But of course, Storm has a big magic damage cool kit. Hawkeye's been TPing into the mid lane. And
what a post timing, my god. Storm Spirit, he is sipping, but how far is he jumping? And he can actually jump extremely far, pop the region, and then try to just maybe come back and snipe somebody. But if only they had that relocate right about now, they could be able to turn things around possibly. But without that, I think it's just Storm Spirit escaping and Ogre being left to die.
No indication of why this pause has happened just yet. There's LeBron, sorry, go. So we'll see what happens in this mid lane. Zip back from the Storm Spirit. Evasion, though, going to be sprouted up. He actually does make it out in time. Decay stack not enough to clean him up there. But it looks like they will...
Yeah,
looks like they will go towards this T2.
Was it like blocked by the pause or something? Because his TP was definitely faster than a normal TP would have been.
It looked pretty quick. did.
But
Zip
Phantom
forward
XP wants
from
to go
Phantom
back
XP.
in. Oh,
He gets
no, the
gusted
gust.
up. And Shackle does land, but Kekoni getting pretty low in the tree line here. Duel out onto Hawkeye. They're going to be able to finish him off. That's the first win for 6net. Power Shot comes out. Not going to be enough. The Spirit's going to finish off Insolent. One right click and the Fire Blast going to finish off Pure Evil here. And Insolent is left to die. Gust onto 2. There are the familiar stuns here to sound his retreat. The Undying chopping into Phantom XP. And he's actually going to zip away from that one last Drow right click, which helps him to survive. Drow going to go down in the backline to a Fire Blast, and triple kill going the way of the Ogre Magi. Buyback came out here from Hawkeye. He TP'd back into the fight to no avail, and they're actually going to chase them down with the Legion, it seems, but actually they're going to back off at this point. So Hawkeye wasted buyback there, and that's going to cost him economically. He's sitting on 1,000 gold with 3 Null Talismans and the Tread, so could have been well on his way to a Blade Mail if he didn't choose to buy back there.
I swear to God, had the Ogre just not gotten that really weird TP out, had the Ogre not been that there in the fight, G-Play would have just probably overrolled at Northernlands. Not only did he do a lot of damage in that just ignites and Fire Blast, at the start of it, he also got the multicast onto Wind Ranger, which made it so that Wind Ranger kind of have to back off as well.
Yeah, into
and
the trees.
Couldn't follow up with a power shot onto the Storm Spirit, for example, after the Shackle. So I really have to like recheck what happened there. I'm pretty sure he wasn't TPing before the pause, because I would have seen it during the pause then.
Yeah, he wasn't TPing before the pause in a way. It was an instant cast pretty much after. And Kekoni getting back off mid lane, so Phantom not able to go in on him. Does have that high ground ward actually just expired. So this one here on the cliff is going to scout out Phantom. And Kekoni going to rotate back to the mid lane. Doesn't have any support at this point. Will they go on to 6net? It doesn't seem that that's the case. Hawkeye going to cancel his TP. It was pinged out by 6net. So they know that that attempt was made. And there is a TP towards the top lane from the Undying here. Phantom XP going to have to back out. The Nature's Wrath just going to be a little bit short. Hawkeye TPing in though. Will he be able to find him here? It doesn't seem as so. Phantom XP going to be able to TP out. No way to cancel it for Hawkeye. He'll farm up a stack though and put a knife into the economy. Top lane, however, Insolent been gone in on. Duel onto him, and the Drow Ranger gonna fall here. Ingman in the front lines, taking out this Tombstone as well. Sprout goes out onto the Ogre Magi, but only gonna sound the retreat here for Command Minus, and not looking too good in the mid game for them.
I mean, G-Play, if only they had anybody else instead of the Undying, maybe it would be a little bit better, because at the moment, the Tombstone, it was down, but they just popped the Crimson Scar Bristleback, didn't take a single point of damage more or less, just went for the Tombstone, didn't even care at all. And that's a Blink Dagger now finished on the Legion as well, so he can start the Blink jumps, just relocate in afterwards. Although at the moment, IO, funny enough, he is solo on the bottom side, just building a mech for himself or for their team.
They relocated in top, and then he left the Bristle up there, so. Insolent smoked up bot lane with Kekoni. Not sure that they are going to find anyone, but if they rotate in the jungle, they may find the duo of LeBron and Ingman farming up this stack here. Doesn't seem like they're privy to doing so. Perhaps Kekoni going to bait himself out in the bot lane. Look for this tier 1. Pops the focus fire here. There is no glyph, so we'll be able to take this out pretty quickly. TPs are in here from 6net. He's got a blink already. Blink forward. Insolent's been caught out. Duel. Easy win for 6net. And despite coming out of that bottom lane, 0-1 and 4 assists already for 6net, and the Blink Dagger is sub 20 minutes, so out of that offlane, not terrible at all, and the first usage of it very successful, finding the Drow Ranger in the bottom lane, who is 3rd overall on net worth, well below the Bristleback.
This Bristleback is definitely the biggest just thing to go past for G-Play at the moment. He has the Crimson Guard, 1.6k after this as well. What build do you think we might see out of him? Is it just like SNY? Does he also try to build for a pipe, or what does he go for?
I don't know that Pipe's super effective in this game. The Crimson Guard certainly is. We could see a Shiva's on him. That would further tank him and his team up. Perhaps an AC. I don't feel like Heart is as good as either of those. They're going to scout out the Wisp, however, and nice relocate. Shackle's going to fly across the map. But it looks like they will pay for their life with LeBron here, as the Bristleback is rotating away. And Shackle does latch, relocate back, dead LeBron in the top lane. And once again, 2 and 23. Must have been someone's KDA in a certain game, but either way. They do not have a T1 in the bottom lane for nLions, so no objectives to take off of that Wisp death. And it looks like balling up from nLions going to happen in the top lane. Phantom XP is solo middle, so if they are able to get a Gust or a Shackle off, they might be able to kill him, but he should be just fine. He does have that Soul Ring. Shackle does latch, very well placed by Kekoni. They drop the Familiars. They're able to kill him off. Excellent play by Kekoni there. A little bit too much greed from Phantom. Doesn't back off. In the meantime, though, the rest of his squadron picking up the tier 1 in the top lane, so not a terrible trade for them, but Hawkeye and Insolent are pushing the bot lane. Are there TPs available? There are, and 2 already come in, 3 with the Bristleback in the front lines. Insolent wisely gonna back off here and TPs towards the mid lane.
Distro might want to invest into a Blink Dagger at some point if they want to go for a split pushing kind of game. We'll be able to just, you see a TP, you immediately blink out. Although it's not going to make you just safe from the relocate or from the Legion Commander blinking in from behind the trees or something.
Right.
It's probably going to be pretty helpful anyway.
And as I mentioned in the draft, the Orchid Rush complete, but already with a Maelstrom and an Orchid and Phase Boots for Kekoni here. So Phantom XP certainly got to be worried, about dying during that Orchid duration. And they're going to go on to 6net in the mid lane. He's going to get Orchided up, so that'll be revealed. They even dropped the Tombstone for it. Not exactly needed, but jump in, relocate is a little bit late. LeBron gonna die instantly. Blade Mail Crimson Guard is up here for Ingman, but he's not doing enough damage to the full lineup. Kekoni actually almost kills himself with that last power shot, and Phantom XP gonna go in. Wind Run is used, however, and Phantom XP gonna have to zip to the high ground. Another pause from Northern Lions here at a very timely manner. And Phantom XP should be a little bit worried here. He is out of mana at this point, so that's the furthest he's going to zip. Shackle not up for 5 seconds, so they don't have any disable unless the Familiars are able to get over him, which they will be very soon. But he does have a Soul Ring, so he can zip a little further. And we'll see if he's able to survive here. He's going for a BKB as opposed to the Orchid. What do you think about that build?
It's probably necessary, especially now that there's an Orchid as well on the Wind Ranger already. It's Orchids is an item that I think you kind of need to get within a certain timing.
Right.
But if you like try to go for it, if you go for the first Oblivion Staff, but you're not able to finish up the second one, nor get the recipe, you're just not going to be able to do enough in fights.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to die, and well, we might see it just here. Of course, his mana pool isn't all that great to begin with at the moment. He did get to the high ground, has pulled the charges. Do you think he's going to make it all the way out?
Well, I doubt it, just because the Familiars are pretty quick, but if he's able to bottle charge up after the Soul Ring, he may just get enough distance from the Soul Ring. Soul Ring gives 150 mana, so he may be able to get to about here, about these trees, and should be okay, I guess. There is the Flying Vision, so he can't zip between high ground and low ground by virtue of the Familiars being there, but either way, I do agree with you. I think the BKB is pretty necessary, but I do worry that there is a lot of physical damage still coming out from this lineup, of course, and Medallion does go through BKB, so they can still drop him pretty quickly if he's not really efficient in his zipping in and out of the fights.
He needs the BKB plus like one item that would actually boost his intelligence, the mana pool as well. Then he's going to be probably fine, but it's a huge deal for Northern Lions that the Bristleback is the only one getting farm, and even now, with the death on him, he's not getting like a crazy amount all of a sudden. And of course, I really liked how Io, they came in with the relocate, and the Io, it was like 1 second later he's dead.
Absolutely melted. And the relocate was a fraction of a second late. They came in after they already had the LC for 6net go down there, so a little bit questionable. Tombstone was already dropped on the ground as well. I believe it's still even up. It is. And now Phantom XP in certain imminent danger. And Kekoni is level 14, so has found a lot of farm out of that mid lane, and it has been pretty heavily involved with the team. 6-1 and 6 on the Wind Ranger, so been involved in 12 of Commanda minuses 15 kills. So looks like we will have an unpause here, and we will see the fate of this Storm Spirit. Yeah, they're very unfortunate.
So I guess we're gonna have to go back to the lore, maybe.
They did say to go
insatiable
whenever.
something for the disruptor.
back
I
to
guess you can choose a new hero as well of your own liking.
Let's reread the second paragraph. Although small for his kind, Disruptor is fearless and driven by an insatiable curiosity. As a youth, while still unblooded and without a strider, he explored the ruins of the ancestral cities, searching through collapsed and long, moldering libraries, rummaging through rusting manufactories. He took what he needed and returned to his tribe. Adapting a coil of ancient design, he harnessed the power of electrical differential and now calls down the thunder whenever he wishes. Part magic, part craftsmanship, his coils hold in their glowing plates the power of life and death, a power wielded with precision against the landed castes to the south and any interlopers who cross into ancient Oglodi lands. Pretty cool guy, I guess. Pretty cool guy.
I do have to say though that
also they forgot to include Glimpse is OP.
Oh, that's for sure. But I really didn't like the part where it's like it's mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, okay, it's part magical, part mechanical, but when you need to be all about magic, it's like, guys, inventions suck. Just get your own power. It's like in Dota 1, Thrall, just pure elements, man, elemental powers.
Thrall is a beast. He actually just killed Garrosh Hellscream. God. I used to play WoW. I used to be one of those guys, but now I have a life.
Yeah, and you're casting Dota and
right. I just can't escape the esports, man. Anyways, Phantom XP.
World of Warcraft is like...
It's a world, that's for sure.
Although I have to say, like, Arena, it is hard as fuck, man.
Yeah, well, you use at least the whole left side of your keyboard, that's for sure. So, I have a little brother who's pretty damn awesome at PvP. Definitely, I felt like the most exciting dimension of the game or aspect of the game. Raiding, not too bad, but I liked raiding back in the Molten Core days when it was 40-man raids, and now it's something like 25. So
raiding is awesome when you have great people to raid with.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part, just finding those people or being able to sustain those people.
Yeah, that's very true. In good company, pretty much anything is fun. So enough about the Warcraft. Thrall is pretty awesome though. Thrall is bald now, which kind of...
It's weird.
Yeah, like seeing him
when
bald,
I was like, why?
I was like, what happened? But anyways, Phantom XP Soul Ring. He's going to zip to the south, and the Familiar's going to chase him down. He's going to get scouted out with the power shot. The Tombstone's chasing him down. He zips to the low ground, and actually they're going to back off the Familiars, so he does survive by virtue of that haste rune and all 3 of those bottle charges. So a little bit uneventful. G-Play knowing that Roshan going to be up soon. He's up in about 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds here. And they're unfortunate for them. They do know this is pretty close to max spawn. We're about just over a minute from max spawn here, so they know this will be up soon. They drop a Treant. He's there for 35 seconds, so definitely will scout out this Roshan. And they look to push the bot lane out to secure the pit. Sanj is coming out as well as an Ogre Club. Sanj for Insolent, Ogre Club for Pure Evil. And it looks like that's an Aghanims build and the SNY for the Drow Ranger. So 2 Wraith Bands, Aquila, Treads, SNY, a lot of Agi here, already hitting for well over 250 damage on this Drow. Actually just about 250, 249. So,
well, of course, boosting up the damage of everybody else as well by 45 with the Precision Aura, which isn't even maxed out yet. And they're going to go for Roshan, Shackle to pop the Linkens. There's the Focus Fire to follow. Should be a really easy one. I mean, nLions, they might want to come in, but they're going to be too late.
Yeah, this is just... That Roshan absolutely melted with that medallion and all this physical damage. And they almost know that they're here. They're going to look to go right away. Kikoni wind runned up. Shackle's going to latch on evasion. Power shot to follow. Actually, not even needed. Couple right clicks. He'll get out a glancing blow with that Fire Blast onto Kikoni. But Kikoni's got that Aegis. He's going to get earned up here. And in the bottom lane, the Visage is going to scout out Phantom XP. He's going to zip out of vision, though. And it looks like they'll just look to take this tier 2. Port in from Hawkeye. Looks like Ingman is pushing out the top lane on the Bristleback. And probably not willing to defend. He does have a TP at the ready. But with this Aegis, they don't really want to fight into this. And perhaps this is the cue to go high ground for Commando Minus.
It might be. They can definitely attempt it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I guess you can get wiped and lose damage and whatnot. Although tier 2 is also getting pushed, so they might get that with Inkman and LeBron. But what? This tower's dropping so damn fast.
Yeah,
Precision
this
aura,
tower's
guys.
absolutely
with familiars.
melting. And the glyph comes out a little late. They should have probably popped it as soon as that active went off, but that's a tier 3 at 245 health now, and the glyph was used top lane. Relocate is at the ready for Ingman as well as LeBron. And they're going to put some damage in. Jump forward, duel onto Pure Evil. Gust is going to be there. They're going to mech him up as well. Kekoni getting aggressed on by the Storm Spirit, but Sixnet going to be able to back off. They actually pick off the Storm Spirit in the back lines. Ogre going to put a Fire Blast into Kekoni, but that's only the Aegis. Soul Assumption goes out onto Evasion. He will tick down on the high ground. Gust out onto 2. Nice right clicks from Insolent. They're going to bring down the Storm Spirit for the second time, I believe. Actually, he's down with no buyback. Bristleback is gone. He's going to buy back here. And they're going to look to go high ground. Shackle very nicely placed there. They actually bring down the creep that was being TP'd to by Ingman, and they'll bring down this melee racks before anyone's even here to defend. Duel is down for another 5 seconds, and they'll just back off happy with their spoils here, only losing the Visage and bringing down quite a few, forcing out the buyback. So awesome play there from Commanda Minus. They find quite a bit, and they do get the melee racks. They lose their Aegis there as well as their Visage, but certainly worth it overall.
Oh, it most certainly is, and that's Visage. Although he died, he still has his Aghanim Scepter finished all of a sudden. Triple Familiars with Precision Aura, which is now maxed out as well. Another 1.7, 1.8k on Draw Ranger. Blink Dagger on Kekoni as well. This is really like the moment that happened in last game. You just win one fight, get Roshan, and suddenly like head towards the victory of the game already. It's not over yet, but this Storm Spirit, he just has so little to work with.
Yeah, with the Orchid and the Gust, they've been able to kill him off. LeBron gonna find his fate here. Easy Shackle kill. Kekoni gonna leap up. Orchid up. Ingman as well. They're gonna chase him down with the Familiars. He pops the Crimson Guard, but here's Hawkeye with the Sprout. He's actually gonna get cleaned up with a Fire Blast. He gets mech'd up, however, and they're gonna be able to bring down Ingman. Phantom is also silenced up. Soul Assumption will be enough. Ogre gonna go down as well. GG is called. Well played again by Commanda Minus. As you mentioned at the start of the game, they impressed in Battle of Central Europe, and now they're looking to continue to do so in the GG League. They move on to the quarterfinals. They're going to face off against a very tough opponent in Weehaw and his squad on BBC. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. This is GG League Season 2 on HeflaTV. I am Maurice Peasy, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster, joined by Coucher. Coucher, final thoughts on the game?
I don't know, Commander Minus is extremely well played, and we had more post than game time probably.
Yeah, so that was very well played by Kekoni all game. Got up that early Orchid, and that pretty much spelled doom for the side of nLions. So in the first game, they put up a valiant attempt. In the second game, pretty much rolled over. 24 minutes, 45 seconds, as you mentioned. 12 fantasy points for Kekoni. So hopefully some of you got him 10-1 and 10 on that win ranger. Certainly the standout player in this game too. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Thank you for joining us for the Disruptor lore. We'll have some more lore for you a little bit later on. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully we don't get that many pauses. But thanks again for joining us, guys. That's a 2-0 victory in this best of 3 for Commanda, as you see on the screen. We'll be on the stream. We've got some more Dota coming your way on HeflaTV. Be sure to check us out on twitch.tv/HeflaTV1 and HeflaTV2, as well as over on Hitbox on HeflaTV HB1, where we will be showcasing the Battle of Central Europe. And check us out on...
Oh, no, we won't. It got postponed, or it was a forfeit by Moscow 5 rather, because they're having roster issues.
Okay, so that will resume pretty shortly. Nothing today, however, but facebook.com/HeflaTV, twitter.com/HeflaTV, youtube.com/HeflaMoke. The VODs will be up